Hi, Tony. So tell us about your upbringing, your early family life.
My early family life, well, quite a grounded upbringing. Really brought up on a council estate in a small town on the outskirts of Bradford. Good people, met lots of good friends there, but probably kept me grounded for the rest of my life, I would say. Yeah.
In God's County as well.
In God's County, of course, the beautiful county of Yorkshire, which is where I still live.
What was your first ever job?
Well, apart from paper round, which was a job, but I guess we're not going to talk about that, I went into engineering. And the reason for that, I guess it was typical of that generation, is that you tended to follow your father into whatever career he'd taken. So I went into mechanical engineering, first year of which I spent at college, and then the 4-year apprenticeship finished. I was offered a management training opportunity, which was quite innovative, I guess, in those days, which entailed really spending 6 months in each of the 3 major disciplines in the company. So I spent 6 months in the drawing office. You've seen the state of my handwriting, so that was never going to work out. 6 months in organisation and methods, which you might call time study or Minutemen, and then 6 months in purchasing, which I really, really liked, and where I probably would have taken my career. Unfortunately, at that time, I lost my mother at quite a young age, and I just needed to get away. So a friend and I, we had a Morris 1300, jumped in the car one day, drove down to Weymouth, got off at Cherbourg, worked our way through France,
Lovely.
which was great, and into northern Spain, and ended up in the resort of Lloret de Mar. And there was a purpose for that. We had a friend who was managing a couple of bars there, and I guess that was my second job, because then I was a waiter for a while. It sounds glamorous, but the hours were long, the pay was low. And it got to us. We eventually had to drive back, but we were so skint, if I'm quite honest, that we had to stop off at my auntie's in London to borrow £5 to fill the car up to get. And it proves how long ago that was, to get back home.
What a great experience, though.
It was a great experience, and it sort of like, you know, got me through a period that I just needed to get away for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So where does then Otto UK fit into this?
Well, that really came from not the purchasing side, which it ended up with. It started with organisation and methods. There was an opportunity for a role within Grattan, who at that time were part of Next.
Okay.
And I went in as organisation and methods, which was okay. But then I had the opportunity to take an assistant buying role in the electrical division of Grattan. And just really worked my way through the business. So was promoted to buyer, then head of buying, then probably made a poor decision. I was offered the role of marketing director for Look Again.
Oh, right.
So probably a little bit overwhelmed by the opportunity and, you know, everything that, you know, the rewards that go with that and the title. So foolishly took the job, because actually I knew nothing at that time about marketing. And as a result, I was made redundant in 2000, which wasn't great, but led to other opportunities, which I've thoroughly enjoyed.
So is that where you then joined M. Brown?
And that's when I joined M. Brown, who people probably watching this will know as J.D. Williams or Simply Be, Giacomo. They're all brands under the M. Brown umbrella. So I went in there as product manager, looking after their non-clothing division, and spent 3 years there, and quite happy years. But then I was approached by ARG Equation, and they just sold their home shopping business to the Barclay family, who had also acquired Littlewoods the year before. But they needed to set up a buying department, because that had been previously handled by Argos. So that was great. It was a blank piece of paper, build my own team, and that was fantastic. So they were based in Manchester at the time, in the Arndale Tower. spent 3 years there before they fully merged with the Littlewoods group to become Littlewood Shop Direct, and located over into Liverpool in Speke, out by the airport, in a very, very famous building. It was one of the aircraft hangars where, if you see the Beatles arriving back from their tour of America, their first tour of America, that actually is their office.
Building,
So that's
amazing.
the building, is their office. So I took over head of buying for the group, which spent a number of years in that role. And then when the product director, great guy called Matt Dixon, was promoted to the board, I was given the opportunity to take on the buying director's role for the electrical division at the Shop Direct, which was really good. Probably came a little bit late in my life, but did that for a couple of years. But it really was starting to take its toll. So I'd spoken to Matt and said, look, my plan probably within the next couple of years is to retire. He said, okay, well, we're looking to restructure anyway, and there was an opportunity for me to move into the sourcing division of Shop Direct, and took the role of global supply manager, which took me to other parts of the world that I'd not seen before. In the buying roles, it tended to be around Asia. In the sourcing role, we were looking at new markets closer to home, so places like Poland, Romania, Turkey, which are fantastic, and they are markets that have developed for the group now.
So I've got a question here about mail order, but the way I see it is almost mail order has now almost become internet digital retailing. How's that transition? Because you were at Shop Direct for such a long period, and it almost was a transition from a mail order to a digital. What did that look like? Well,
I think Shop Direct were probably the bravest of the traditional mail order companies in terms of embracing online retailing. I remember when they decided to drop the catalogue, a lot of outsiders thought the company had gone mad. But of course, internally, we knew what the incremental sales were that were coming from the catalogue, which were minute and didn't justify the cost of catalogue. So they moved out of catalogue retailing before any of their competitors, and now are the leading, what they call their department store, but the leading online department store in the country.
Very, wasn't it, as well?
And that was the birth of Very. What they did, they had a number of brands, probably too many brands that confused consumers. So they reduced those brands to two, which was Littlewoods, which was their traditional old catalogue base that eventually became pure online, and then launched Very, I think, in 2009. And Very now is the biggest brand in their brand portfolio. Very, very successful, well-known, high-profile brand.
Through your entire career, was there anything that's kept you awake at night?
There's been lots of things that have kept me awake at night, but no, I think I'm as I say, maybe being brought up in the council estate has kept me grounded and realistic. And I did a great course a number of years ago with a guy called Jim McNeish, and he was a business psychologist. And the one thing that I really took from that is that take control of your life, take control of your own destiny. Don't let other people do that for you. And I did that, and which is why I took the decision to retire. But yeah, it was great. And no, there's nothing that I think really kept me awake.
That's good. What would you say was your favourite moment of your career?
Favourite moment, I think, was being made buying director at Shop Direct, because huge role. I mean, sales of electrical within that group, over £700 million. So massive responsibility. But really enjoyed that time. But it was purely, the commute and the long hours that really took its toll, which is why I had to have the conversation around doing something a little bit different. And that was great, actually, ending my career, or my full-time career, doing something that was totally new to me and seeing different places. So, it was great. It was a great end to my full-time career.
Yeah. What would you say your passions are in your life?
My passions, Bradford City Football Club.
Of course.
The
highs and the lows.
Well, there haven't been many highs. Obviously, the Capital One Cup final, which the only fourth tier side ever to reach a major cup final.
Yeah.
I think in the world,
Yeah.
where all Premier League sides have taken part.
Yeah. You played Liverpool this year as well, did you?
We played Liverpool. We beat them in the second half in a friendly. But you know, I guess you know the most famous FA Cup shock of all time was going down to Chelsea in 2015, I think it was, and finding ourselves 2-0 down and then recovering to win 4-2, which was a great day, and I was fortunate enough to be there.
Yeah.
Also like cricket, and as you know, I went to watch the Ashes yesterday down at Lords with a friend of mine, and we didn't see a ball bowled because of the rain, but you know, we travelled 200 miles and there were thousands of Aussies there that, you know, travelled several thousand miles, so I probably feel a bit more sorry for them.
You touched on the marketing role before, but is there any regrets through your life?
Yeah, I think that probably would be the biggest, you know, I took a bad decision, and probably not meeting my wife earlier. You know, family is everything to me, and Tracy, my wife, she really is a rock, and she's the central fulcrum to the family, and not always, and a saint, but yeah, she's kept me on the straight and narrow, kept me realistic, kept me grounded, you know, and I owe a lot to her for that.
Yeah. Have you ever turned down an offer you wish now you'd taken?
No, I don't think so.
That's no regrets, I guess.
Yeah, no regrets. No, I'm, you know, a very content person, you know, and Tracy, my wife, you know, I remember she once said, you know, she was doing an interview and somebody said, well, how do you feel in life? She said, content. And I think it's probably suiting that, you know, that's how I feel, you know. I'm very, very happy with my career, very happy with my family. My football team could be doing better, a lot better. But no, very content, thank you, David. Yeah.
No problem. Your relationship to Swan, Rob, Paul, myself, obviously we've known each other a long time. You've known Rob and Paul, the owners of Swan, for a very long time.
Well, I've known Rob and Paul for probably 25 years. Yourself probably for the last 10. And you know, we've worked very, very closely to jointly develop the brand, because it was a major brand for Shop Direct, still is. But you guys, you know, what I respected about, you know, Rob, Paul initially when I met them, and you more latterly, is their passion for their brand, their understanding of the brand, the understanding of the products and the consumers and what the consumers want from the brand, which has always impressed me. And I guess it's why I'm here now, just, you know, in a very much a part-time role, but helping you out in any way I can, is because I think we share that passion for this great brand.
Yeah, common goal. Yeah.
A common goal.
Yeah. And how would you say you're enjoying your, I put retirement, but semi-retirement?
Semi-retirement.
How's the handicap?
The handicap could be better. So I started playing golf about 18 months ago. Got my handicap to 25, which is poor, but struggling to get it down. Less lessons are required, I think. But no, really enjoying the balance. But you know, what I would say to anybody is I retired for the right reasons, but I'm really glad that I took the opportunity that was offered by Paul, Rob, yourself, to help out, because I think full-time retirement has to be a big decision, and I'm not sure that I would have been ready just to go from, you know, literally a 70, 80-hour week to not really working at all, and this, you know, hopefully it benefits Swan, but it's certainly, you know, I'm grateful that it bridges a void for me as well.
Enjoying it as well. Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've got to love it to work with me. But yeah, absolutely love it. Yeah.
I've put here a family life. You've touched on your wife Tracy. Do you want to tell us a bit about the rest of your family? Yeah,
I have a son Adrian and daughter Nicola. My son's got his own business. He's got a garage. Nicola, my daughter, she's a dental therapist, which is sort of kind of between an hygienist and a dentist. Unfortunately, she played a lot of sport when she was younger, and she's just had a cruciate ligament operation, all repaired. So being self-employed, she's itching to get back into work now. But Nicola has 2 children, our grandchildren, Isla and Henry, who are absolutely fantastic. Lots of babysitting. It just everybody says, you know, it's great because you can have all the fun and you can hand them back. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love it. Absolutely love it. You know, I mean, life's good.
Yeah.
I know that's somebody else's catchphrase, but life's good. Yeah.
I think my dad enjoys being a grandparent because he has more time to enjoy being a grandparent.
Yeah.
There's no business pressure as well. So I think yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. No, it's a great balance. Yeah. Great balance. Yeah, loving every minute.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching the video. Please make sure you're following us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, all our social channels, and please make sure you like, comment and share.